Lapwai School District School Health and Safety Protocols. The health and safety of Lapwai students is always our highest priority. The Lapwai School District has exhausted every effort and gone to the greatest lengths possible to ensure the safest return for students and staff this fall. The following protocols include guidance from the Center for Disease Control, World Health Organization, and Idaho Public Health. The plan will remain subject to change based on local data and guidance from Idaho Public Health, Nimiipuu Health, and the NESPRS. Student screening and protocols. To help prevent the spread of COVID-19 and reduce the potential risk of exposure to employees and students will have access to a touchless temperature reading if needed. Students who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 may return to school when all three of the following criteria are met. 1. A quarantine of 10 days has been met, and 2. At least 24 hours have passed since recovery. That's no fever without the use of fever-reducing medications. And 3. Respiratory symptoms have improved, cough, shortness of breath, etc. If a student has symptoms that could be COVID-19 and does not get evaluated by a medical professional or tested for COVID-19, it is assumed the student has COVID-19 and may not return to school for 14 calendar days. Parents are required to notify the school if their child has COVID-19 or someone in the home has COVID-19, or if the child or family has been exposed due to close direct contact to COVID-19. Social distancing. Social distancing is an effective way to prevent potential infection. Lapwai Middle High School employees, students, parents, and visitors should practice staying approximately 6 feet away from others and eliminating contact with others as feasible. However, in the school setting, proper social distancing is not feasible in all areas of operation: buses, some classrooms, athletics, etc. Procedures will be in place to help eliminate direct exposure. Limiting student movement during the day where feasible, i.e. staggered class changing, staggered meal times, etc. Traffic flow. Taped lines on the floor will mark the walking direction throughout the common areas of the building in order to maintain the social distancing requirement of 6 feet. Signage will also be visible in hallways and public entrances about social distancing guidelines. Classroom arrangements. Teachers and staff will maintain a clean environment free of clutter and unnecessary furniture or personal belongings. Student desks will be arranged so that students will be spaced as far apart as possible. Until further notice, any collaborative work students are working on should be completed in an appropriate online learning platform, or face masks or coverings be worn during those activities. Student supplies will not be shared amongst the class. Instead, each student will be responsible for their own supplies to be kept with them during the day. Likewise, textbooks will not be shared. Teachers will either sanitize between use or make copies to be used by students as needed. Learning materials will also be placed online for virtual learning. Cafeteria and meal periods. Students may purchase or receive grab-and-go breakfast in a central location each morning. Breakfast will be eaten in classrooms. All other students will report directly to each classroom each morning. Career and technical students will eat a grab-and-go breakfast once they arrive at the CTE Center each morning. Lunches will be served in the cafeteria on each campus. However, lunch times will be staggered to allow for social distancing during lunch as feasible. Some classes will eat in classrooms due to the inability to social distance. Due to staff limitations, students' microwaves cannot be sanitized between each use. Therefore, they will be off limits until further notice. Visitors are not allowed to participate in lunch at this time. Personal protective equipment, or PPE. In order to minimize exposure to COVID-19, PPE may be needed to prevent certain exposures. PPE can include masks, facial coverings. Face masks or facial coverings are an important part of employee and student protection, as well as personal hygiene, social distancing, and frequent cleaning efforts. Lapwai High School encourages masks or face shields for students and staff when feasible while in the school building. Face masks or disposable masks from home will be allowed, but must meet current dress code policy, specifically as it relates to slogans, must not be controversial, and must not be inappropriate. Personal workspace, classroom. Faculty and staff will use signage provided to indicate hygiene protocols and COVID-19 information. All teachers and students are asked not to visit another classroom outside of their team or grade level. Employees are encouraged to keep their assigned spaces free of clutter or unnecessary furniture and/or personal items. In addition to daily general sanitation efforts by custodial staff, employees will disinfect their own personal workspaces, teacher's desk, knobs, switches, etc. throughout the day, giving special attention to commonly used surfaces. Hygiene and cleanliness. It is recommended students wear personal protective equipment such as masks as provided by the parent or guardian. Hand sanitizer dispensers are installed in school entrances, restrooms, cafeterias, next to water bottle filling stations, and all instructional spaces. Schools will create schedules for frequent hand hygiene. All student and staff restrooms are equipped with soap, hand sanitizer, and paper towels. Partitions have been installed between the restroom sinks for their protections as well. Classroom high-touch surfaces and desks will be sanitized frequently throughout the day. Instructional spaces will be provided with a non-toxic peroxide-based cleaner. The disinfectant is hospital-grade and registered by the EPA for the use against SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. Peroxide-based cleaners are also respiratory and environmentally friendly. All cleaners must be stored properly and inaccessible to students during instructional hours. Building high-touch surfaces will also be sanitized frequently throughout the day, such as railings and door handles. Students will be explicitly taught and reminded to cover mouths and noses with a tissue when coughing or sneezing. Throw used tissue in a lined trash can. Wash hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. This is especially important after blowing noses, coughing, or sneezing, going to the bathroom, and before eating or preparing food. Please use hand sanitizer at the installed dispensers. Avoid touching eyes, nose, mouths with unwashed hands. Staff are required to abide by these recommendations as well. Classroom doors will remain open during the day to increase air circulation and limit the need to touch door handles. Building HVAC fans will remain running constantly during school hours to increase air circulation. Water bottle filling stations have been installed in each lobby and school hallway. This will encourage hydration and reduce cross-contamination. Suggested student supplies will include refillable water bottles labeled with their name. Annual training for custodians will include coursework in coronavirus awareness and proper cleaning and sanitation. Transportation. School bus transportation will include required assigned seating. To the greatest extent possible, households will be seated together. Students will be provided hand sanitizer upon entry to the bus. Seats and high-touch surfaces will be sanitized on buses following each use. The district has purchased an electrostatic sprayer to ensure thorough disinfection. Weather permitting, windows will remain open to increase air circulation. Annual training for bus drivers will include coursework in coronavirus awareness and proper cleaning and sanitation. Food service. Breakfast will be grab-and-go options, allowing students to eat in their classroom or homeroom. Whenever possible, scheduling for lunch will limit cross-exposure by keeping the same cohort of students seated together and distance between groups. Tables and all high-touch surfaces will be sanitized after each use. Closures and communication. Should additional closures become necessary, schools will prepare to accommodate methods for remote learning similar as approached this spring. Please ensure your family contact information is kept updated with the school. Parents and guardians will be kept informed in numerous ways, including A. Auto-dialing phone messages, B. Facebook, Lapwai School District number 341, C. Website, www.lapwai.org, D. Nez Perce Tribe communication announcements. Communication methods. To stay updated on the most up-to-date information, teachers, students, and parents need to check their email often. Visit our district website, www.lapwai.org. Follow social media platforms such as Lapwai School District number 341 on Facebook. Answer phone calls from the district and school through its mass call system, Bright Arrow. These calls will have a generic number but will give information that is important for families. Thank you for watching this video. We look forward to seeing our students, and as always, go Wildcats!